So two-part question for this then. What is going to change the market? Like what's the catalyst that it's going to be like, okay, people are going to start, obviously rate, but people are going to start to afford those. And
Yeah.
should the market change? Like, or are we at the stage where, okay, prices should not be increasing? Like the buyers that are sitting on the sideline are unrealistic and so are the sellers, but it's becoming to the point where it's not affordable economically. So this is where we're at and this is where we're going to be at for X amount of years.
Good question. So the first answer is this, is that the market is going to either shift because the sellers are going to wake up or the buyers are going to get itchy hands and they want to get a hit and they want to buy. So one of those two has got to move, or both may move, right? But we've got to create the opportunity for a seller to sell, and you've got to create the opportunity for a buyer to buy as an agent. You can't sit there and wait for it to happen. Does that make sense? So it takes skills and it takes time and energy and effort to create those opportunities as an agent. Okay. And you've got to find the people who want to run from their pain and want to run to their pleasure. And the other ones will hold. Here's why. Because unless you bought the last 3 years and put 5% down, too much equity in there. Everybody's sitting equity. And I heard a stat in Kelowna, by up to 50, maybe 60% of people that own property here don't have debt. Zero debt, no mortgage. So that's a different game changer when you have that much old money and that much new money in Kelowna. That's a lot of old and new money, a lot. So there's not going to be the carnage of bloodshed because we're seeing it. Like, I can't remember who posted on the Kelowna Realtors Facebook page, but somebody said like there's hundreds of places empty, vacant, for sale because those people don't have debt on that, right?
Yeah.
So that's why. So 40% of sellers in Kelowna need to do something, right? Does that make sense? Because they're the ones that have the debt because the money moved on them.
Yeah.
So that's a small piece of it, right? So you've got 40% of sellers that may need to do something. Well, that doesn't bode well for the buyers waiting for the blood to hit the streets, like Rockefeller said. And if I may, when should we buy, guys? When everybody else isn't. Well, they're not right now, so freaking buy. Right?
Preach.
My son and I bought in Victoria like 60 days ago when no one else is buying. Like, you buy when no one's buying, right? You don't do it when everybody else is doing it. This is such a good market to buy because no one else is right now. And you're just looking for the people that have to sell. That 40% that have debt, that the money moved on them. I heard a stat, 251,000 mortgages up for renewal in the fall this year.
Yeah.
But I can't see the default rate changing because Kelownians have whatever we want to call ourselves. Are we Kelownians or Kelownites or whatever else?
Kelownies.
Well, Kelownites or K-Towners. Us K-Towners, only 40% of us have any debt. Lucky buggers.
Well, and to be honest, those that have debt, there's a lot of equity built in there unless you bought in the last couple of years.
Taylor. Exactly. Unless you bought it and put 5 points down in the last 3 years, right? That's it.
Well, like I have a rental property I bought in 2019 and it's at a 3.5% mortgage rate. And when it renews in the fall, it's probably going to be like 4.5 less. It's almost a non-issue as when we refinance.
And that's what I'm saying is that there's really no need for it to correct dramatically. So why wait any longer? And if you have to sell, then sell.
Yeah.
And if you want to buy, then buy. Like I use this analogy. In 1980, how much 1970s real estate should you have bought? In 1990, how much 80s?
Yeah.
In 2000, how much 90s? In 2010. What are we going to say, boys?
I know.
In 2034, what are we going to say about 2024?
Should have bought.
Oh, shit. I should have bought a whole bunch of
that was a good time to buy, and I just didn't.
You know, when nobody was buying in August when those guys were on that podcast, I should have bought some real estate. I should have bought some real estate then.
Exactly.
It's true, though, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Because history always what?
Repeats itself.
Yeah, repeats itself. Yeah.
It repeats itself. And so I'm like, guys, I use this analogy. This is the 6th real estate shit sandwich I've been served in 31 years. It doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
And they're serving it with humble pie at the same time right now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember, right? Because history repeats itself and we're in a cyclical business. So something has to go here to give us a chance to go there. Yeah. It has to. It has to correct to give us somewhere to go next.
Yeah.
Right? It went to here, so it had to give us a place to go back next time. And if you look at the cycle, the 60-year cycle, this goes down and it always goes up here higher than the previous decade peak. Does that make sense?
Yep. Perfect.
If you look at 60 years past, the peak here and then it goes down and the next peak is up here a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher, right?
So I have a whole community of people on Twitter telling me that this time is different. We have government intervention, we have interest rates higher, we have
Oh, dude,
forest fires in Kelowna, you name it, like
every single time something came at us, the government, the taxes, the this and that, every time we're all this like, dude, I remember sitting in the office in 90s in Penticton and shitting my pants because the internet came out and we didn't have the MLS catalog and everything else and that. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm going to go have to be a high school band teacher. The internet is going to wipe realtors out and everything else. That I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. And we don't have the catalog anymore. Oh my God, they'll never come to my office and meet with me. I need my catalog. You know what the book I'm talking about with all Lissy? And we're always freaking out, always freaking out. And guess what happens? We still keep rolling. We still have the upcycle. Every 5 years, they have a bumper sticker that says, I hate my realtor. And every 10 years, it says, I love my realtor. Right? 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 It's so true. And it's been the same thing for 60 freaking years. So right now, it's like, I'm not so happy with my realtor right now.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and in 10 years, it'll be like, I love my realtor right now. I love my realtor right now. We're getting close to that I hate my realtor bumper sticker time. And that's okay. That's okay. This too shall pass. And they'll throw every hand grenade at us politically, taxation, whatever else. And every time we're like, oh my God, right? We're doomed. We're right. And I get it. And full disclosure, in my head, that's what it's saying. Right. But on the outside, I'm thinking to myself, this too shall pass. Just breathe and just chill out and buy when no one else is buying.
I mean, there's a few reasons why to buy it. It's not just we're speculating that it's going to go up. It's just a good time to negotiate terms and conditions and everything. But where do you see the market heading in the next 2 to 5 years in terms of kind of appreciation?
Well, the stats say that we're in a buyer's market and this is a buying opportunity market. So it's a tremendous opportunity, but it's a seller's market for move uppers and downsizers and investors, right? So both sides win. And I would rather be in a market where I'm not outbidding. I have time to do due diligence. I can know what I'm buying and have time to make sure that it's done properly and everything else in that. And at the end of the day, again, you're going to be kicking yourself because most people just wait. And they're like, oh, damn it. And I can tell you this, the number one thing that has afforded me the lifestyle I have is because I got into real estate, not trading real estate, buying what I sell.
Yes.
Yeah.